MSC Cruisecast is a Triple T production. Now, the Taste Try Travel team of Beth and Chris.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the world of Taste Try Travel and the Cruisecast. We literally just got off of the Magnifica couple of cruises, week-long total, and one of us is feeling pretty good, and one of us is not.
Oh, am I on? I am not.
We don't know if you got the whatever you have, the bug, while we were on the cruise. It kind of started a couple days after the cruise. So
yeah, I just kind of have a fever and stuff. So, but we wanted to come on because we have a fun episode for you.
We're not blaming the cruise
No,
for your
I don't think I got it on the cruise,
crud.
actually. No.
But there's a good chance that you did get it on the cruise because so many people do.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we try, we
But
bathe
hopefully I painted myself up enough to look okay.
I was going to say, we bathe ourselves in antibacterial stuff while we're on the cruise. So if anything lived through that, I'm amazed. But
Exactly.
yeah, we got a fun episode today.
Yeah, so I know we've kind of been doing some themes lately, but this one we wanted to talk about some comments that you guys have left and some comments that we've seen online. So
Yeah, exactly. We just want to answer some questions that
yeah,
see if you make it through this episode. That's one of your symptoms, isn't it? You get hot, cold. What you drinking? Hot tea.
I am drinking.
You should have brought 2 drinks.
So drink iced tea while I was
Iced tea and then hot tea when you're flip flopping.
That's all right.
Anyway.
That's all right. Actually, I wanted to start. Is it okay if I start with this one?
Sure. The dress about.
Yeah.
dressing?
So
Okay.
a lot of
there.
you guys have great comments about on the other podcast. And last week we had one about dress code, and I found a really great one I thought I'd comment on because I loved it. I think it kind of summed up. Yeah, I want to read it.
You're going to read it? Okay.
Yeah, I'll read it.
All right.
So this came from @Dave17101, and he said, one great thing about MSC is those that do dress up. Do not look down on those that do not. I agree. Totally.
100% right there.
There is a decency and politeness I have seen in Europeans and Canadians that sadly us Americans have left behind. A lot less entitled passengers flouting their loyalty pins and medallions and cruise cards. I love the more friendly vibes you get on MSC. They just need to add more included dining, and I'd give them a 10 out of 10. So thank you for that comment. I loved it when I read it, and I think it's kind of summed up so well. And I know you're thinking exactly this, Chris, when we were on Wonder of the Seas.
Yes, that was my story. You're just stealing my story.
We came across these people that had didn't they make up their own named brass and name?
So Royal many years ago started giving out little name tags.
Oh, okay.
For their crown and anchor, I think is what they call it. They're people that keep their status levels called crown and anchor, and they would give out their name tags, and they were they looked just like the crew members on the ships. So
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of did a little bit of research. So they changed them so that because people were wearing them and people are getting confused.
Yeah.
And believe me, that fed into the egos of the people that wear them.
Sure.
They
ran into a group of them. Yeah.
they got recognized by just everyday passengers.
Yeah.
So Royal Caribbean changed their pins to like just a regular pin and then like a little like medallion pin that you would get.
Yeah.
So evidently, this is what we were told, right?
Yeah.
Is people started making their own name tags.
Yeah.
And putting their status level on the name
It looked like
tags.
official, though.
It looked official. They copied it just like the ones that they used to give out many years ago.
Yeah.
So people started just doing it themselves and wearing it on board.
That was the first time I think we'd really ran into that, but it was pretty funny.
I never in a million years would occur to me to make myself a name tag and put my status level on it and wear it onto the cruise. I don't mind bragging about it to you guys. Hey, I am Diamond Plus, even though we're not Diamond Plus on anything.
Right.
But making
it's just funny that he said
it
that.
yourself.
Yeah.
And he was a loyal royal, and he was like, oh, he made up. That's right. Did you say that he made up his own name tag to make fun of those people?
Oh, no, I don't remember.
You remember that?
No.
Oh no, he made up.
I just remember like the whole group was just like so entitled, and they had their own name tag, and I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, and the guy that was in the promenade area of the ship, he said that he made one up with like a fake name and a fake status, just to kind of.
Well, I just think it's funny that Dave that wrote this comment. Obviously, there's a lot of people that do this because he mentioned that too. So just thought that was kind of a
entitled passengers flouting. But I just want to say about this comment. It like you said, 100%. You can dress however you want, and and they don't look down at you at all on MSC, and I think that's so nice about MSC. It's kind of whatever you want. I want to just mention that one day on the Magnifica, we were out filming all day long, and we were both wearing shorts. We were wearing like nice shirts and nice shorts. It wasn't like
we didn't have like tank tops.
Yeah, it wasn't anything like that.
Yeah,
and we just. We're like, oh, hey, it's dinner time. Let's go to dinner. And didn't even think about what we were wearing. Didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
And I went up to the maitre d' and said, can I wear shorts? Should I go change? Because I don't want to, is it offensive to me, to the other passengers if I wear shorts? And he said, you, my friend, look better in shorts. So...
Did he really? I didn't hear that part. I know that he let us in, and we saw plenty of other people wearing shorts in the dining room.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I think it was a Nassau day too. Anyway, so it
was
wasn't.
It
wasn't a night that anyone was going to get dressed up anyway. So, but the last thing I wanted to say about this comment too is, and we'll talk a little bit more. I think on a future podcast about food. I totally agree. They need to add more included dining, and I think they are in these new ships that are coming out. So there's going to be quite a lot of really cool dining. So, and that's going to be an episode about the Europa and then the America.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I just want to share that because I thought that just kind of hit all the points.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
yeah, they're listening to people that are saying you need more options on the dining, not just the buffet in the main dining room.
Right, and maybe that was fine in Europe. And I think the Magnifica, which we just got off of, had it didn't have any additional dining except the buffet in the dining room and one specialty, and that was okay for. And
that specialty literally felt like they just kind of like, we have a little space here. Let's add it.
And I think that they are listening to what Americans want, and when you see like the seaside and the seashore, you do see a little bit more, and I think they're going to continue to be more when we have the America come. So very excited.
I'm crossing my fingers. I'm crossing my fingers
for what?
That they add something like the food hall that's on the Prima. I'm telling you. You didn't join me on the Prima, but oh my goodness, that is the best. That is the best dining option. I think at sea. Yeah. At least for, I think, us. Well, you weren't, like I said, you weren't on it, but I know your taste.
Yeah.
Just to an eclectic mix and whatever
someday
you want.
I'll get to go on
and
the Prima.
flavors and presentation and fun little venue. And yeah, I hope they had something like that.
I don't know. We'll see. We're going to go over that soon. So.
Okay, so
What's the next? Do you have
yeah,
another
I saw one on Reddit.
Okay. I
I love to cruise the Reddit looking for comments on MSC because people like hide behind their keyboards and they don't. Are you gonna make it?
Yes.
Okay. People hide behind their keyboards and they are unafraid to let their feelings out on Reddit.
Okay.
So Facebook is a little bit. You can be identified a little bit on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't go on Reddit.
Reddit, you can
So I don't know what this
you can
is.
be completely anonymous and people just let it fly on it. So this is not one of those, but there's plenty of that on. Let's see. Let me read this here.
Okay.
Taking our first cruise ever with 2 teenagers on the MSC Magnifica, we were just on it, to Freeport, Nassau. Read a lot of boat trip reviews since booking, so I feel prepared. It is what you make it to be, right?
100%.
And I thought that is perfect because we're always
saying that.
always saying that.
Any cruise is what you make it. Yeah.
Exactly. There's going to be plus and minuses to every cruise. Yes.
You know what is
Yes.
a perfect example of that?
Yes.
Do you remember when we were at breakfast and we saw that couple? Do you want to tell the story? Or do you want me to tell the story?
They're still sitting there
They
waiting.
might still.
Yes, go ahead. You can tell if you want.
Well, I think that's 100% true. I mean, any cruise line, it is completely what you make of it. And when you said that, I was thinking that we wanted to say this at some point, but
there's
we
a few
sat down.
keys, right?
There are a few keys to make, I think, any cruise
But especially
perfect.
MSC.
But I think MSC, because it's a little bit European, so it has a little bit different, like, things that you have to know about it.
So now that we know a little bit of the background, tell the story of what happened.
So it was a sea day, and we went to the dining room for breakfast. Now, if you know the dining rooms are always a mess. I mean, it doesn't matter what cruise line you go on, right?
Breakfast, it
they're
seems
just,
like
chaotic for some reason.
People just show up and like, am I taking it? Is this my table? I don't know what's good. You want to sit down? Go sit down. Well, maybe I can find you a menu. That seems like every cruise line at breakfast is like that.
We have never had a successful breakfast. I think the only one has been Celebrity Cruise.
Celebrity has it down on breakfast.
Celebrity,
yes.
we're able to
at least
go,
on that
okay.
ship. It was.
So we know, like, we don't go to the dining room when we have places to be, when we need to, like, have a shore excursion or whatever, because we just know. So we went in, and the Magnifica itself only has, like, a couple tables that are tables for 2.
Right.
So anyway, we sat down, and we got offered orange juice right away, and we got offered pastry right away, but no coffee, and nobody came to take our order, right? So we were sitting there for a while, and finally, you remember me? I just wanted coffee. I took my coffee cup, and I just raised it up like this, and there's like people running all over the place, and I just held my coffee cup up in the air until somebody came over and got me coffee. And then a couple minutes later, someone came and took our order, right? Well, they had taken our order, and we happened to notice that there was a couple sitting next to us at another table. And they had the same thing. They had pastries, and they had orange juice delivered right away. But they were sitting, and they didn't have any coffee, and no one had taken their order, right?
Right.
And it had been, like, a little while, and no one came. And they were, can I say, pouting a little bit?
Well, sure. They were pouting and getting very mad.
Yeah,
you could see the anger is seething out of the wife.
Because
she was on her phone, and I think she was about to press her thumbs through the screen.
Could see them a little bit more. I could just see them out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah, they're
you
sitting right
were
in front of me.
Right there.
Yeah.
And they came by with orange juice and the juice tray again, and asked Alfred if they wanted, and they were no. And then they didn't say anything else.
And that's all they said.
Nothing.
No.
Like, I don't want can I have coffee? Can I have anything? They just, like, sat there, and you could just see, like, they wanted food, they wanted coffee, but they weren't saying anything. They weren't letting anybody know. And it wasn't like any of the servers were ignoring them. They were running around like crazy, like they always do. And I think you saw a server like taking orders at tables around them, and for some reason didn't catch them, and they just got madder and madder.
They didn't.
And they never said anything.
The server was standing at the table next to them,
yeah,
taking the order, and walked by them to go back to his station.
They were so mad,
and they didn't say anything.
They didn't say anything, and we got our breakfast. And they still hadn't had coffee. I think finally they got coffee, finally. But I think we ate our breakfast and did all of our little filming and like did everything, had our coffee. And then we left and they still hadn't said anything and they hadn't ordered. And they were so mad. And it just made me like, I just wanted to reach over to them and say like, just say something. Just like, right? Like no one is doing it on purpose. Those servers have like 30 tables in the morning that they have to get breakfast to. So it's always a little bit crazy, right? And you just like, I think we put the title of today's podcast is The Secret to Enjoying Your Time on MSC. Man, you got to have a voice. You got to be willing to like, hey, you know what? Hey, to like somebody, I need coffee. And then they're more than happy to. I think sometimes breakfast itself is a little overwhelming and you just got to ask for what you want.
They were passed by
so many times.
Many times by the waiter. The maitre d's, there were a couple of them in that section.
There were 3 of them standing, yeah.
They passed them by. They were standing right there. In fact, they had a little meeting. Remember I pointed that out?
Yeah.
3 maitre d's stood by their table and had a little meeting. They were talking to each other.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything. Now, I think this is an extreme example because I have no idea why they didn't say anything to anybody.
I don't know.
But I think that illustrates the secret. Yeah. It's not such a secret. It really isn't. But it is to many people. Speak up.
Yep.
Do what you want. Take what you want.
Yep.
Just do it. Nobody's gonna get mad. Maybe in a prim proper society of America, somewhere there's a restaurant, they're just gonna be offended if you do something like that. But on a cruise ship, especially MSC, they're used to it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
You walking by the buffet, you see a sausage you want, reach in there and grab it. Just reach in there and grab it.
Well, I was going to say something about the buffet too. If you stand in line and just wait, you are never going to eat. And I don't mean you have to be rude or you don't have to be pushy, but if you know anything about me, I am a very non-confrontational person. I have a hard time making, I don't know, but I've learned on MSC, man, I have a plate and I want that and I'm just going to just get in there. Everyone's doing it. You don't just stand in line and wait. If you want something, you have to kind of get it. And you don't have to do it rude. You don't have to do it. Just smile to the next person. I mean, everybody is doing it.
To push them out of the way, but just say excuse me and reach in there and grab the thing that you're looking for.
Exactly, because when they had the tea time and I wanted those little scones, I just
that non-confrontational. I saw you grabbing the scone that you wanted off that guy's plate. I saw that.
I just think that you have to I don't know.
I was going to say,
I don't want to beat it.
On a lot of newer ships, they've kind of set the buffet up to where it's kind of just walk around and grab what you want. But on older ships, and they're really not that old, just from a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because they kind of started redesigning the buffets just a few years ago, just 3 or 4 years ago. So, you go back 5, 6, 7 years, they're in the line. It's the line buffet.
That's that line buffet, exactly.
Just say, excuse me, reach in there and grab it.
Yep.
Take it.
Yep. And going back to that
Enjoy
couple,
your cruise.
Exactly. Going back to that couple, they didn't want to say anything. They didn't want to look up and they didn't want to grab anyone's attention. And when I finally got guy holding my coffee cup. I want some coffee. He came and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. We're like, hey, it's okay. It's all good. I just want my coffee. So I think they're very like, they want to help. I just like you remember when we went on Carnival Sunset, when we went on
Sunshine?
The Sunshine, and what
Time to be.
Was it
It's time for it to sunset, I think. It had a lot of rust on it. But it's called the Carnival Sun.
Even when we were on Wonder of the Seas, it was like not a great breakfast experience. So like breakfast is hard, right? You got to have a little patience, but you got to be able to speak up. And so I think that whoopsie, boop, 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 boop. Our dog bumped into the desk.
Once again, she's like, you're done with that, right? You're done with your podcast.
I think the secret is to be friendly, but know what you want and take it. Right?
Sorry, you had me mid-drink of my delicious coffee.
Be friendly. Do not be rude, but have a little aggression to know what you want and get it.
Absolutely. You're on a cruise. Sorry, go ahead. Yes. Did you just think of something?
Sorry, my brain. Last thing I want to say about that couple, because, and I guarantee you they're going to go home and they're going to write a letter and they're going to say MSC is horrible. And I hate that about that because they didn't take the responsibility to like get what they want. To like, hey, I want some breakfast. Hey, somebody pay attention. And so now they're going to probably never cruise MSC and they're going to say bad things. And that's, I don't like that.
Right. Exactly.
So little responsibilities on them.
I can understand. Nobody comes to your table after a while. You get a little upset.
Yeah.
You're like, you should be coming to my table.
Yeah.
But then at that point, you kind of realize, I'm probably going to have to say something.
Yeah.
And then you say something, and then you go on enjoying your cruise.
Have breakfast.
Sorry, I was going to say a word.
Oh. What?
You go on enjoying your blank cruise. Just go on the cruise. That's the secret, right? Know what you want to do on the cruise. Know what you want to eat.
And make it happen.
Know when you want it to happen. And then exactly make it happen.
Yeah.
It's really, like I said earlier, it's not a secret. Just do it. Especially, like I said, on MSC. There's believe me, you're going to find yourself fighting with a grandma, and she's probably going to win. She's better at it than me, getting that sausage that she wants. She's way better at it than me. So I think that's kind of the secret. We will just, speak up, have a good time.
Exactly.
Make sure you do what you want to do.
Exactly.
Make sure you get the service you want.
Because nobody's like, we're not going to help them at that table. No one.
Exactly. It wasn't a conspiracy.
It
was not a conspiracy.
It's breakfast. It's breakfast in the dining room, and it's always a mess, and that's what it is. But I wanted my, what did I end up getting? The egg and then the sauce on top.
The egg and the sauce on
English
top?
Muffin.
Eggs Benedict?
Yeah. And you can't really get that that's the only place you can get in the dining room. So that's why we went to the dining room.
Gotcha. Yes.
All right. What do you have next?
All right. We have, I don't remember exactly. This is another comment we got.
Okay.
Or a little question. Let me read it here. Princess is considered a near luxury line while MSC is considered budget. Yep. Mm-hmm. We've sailed Yacht Club several times and love it, but are looking at other options. How would you compare Princess to MSC Yacht Club? Can I just start real quick?
They're just, okay.
Can I start real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can't compare Princess and MSC Yacht Club. They're not comparable.
Yeah.
Yacht Club, MSC has dropped the mic with the Yacht Club. Right. They made the Yacht Club and just try and beat us. They've taken everything. I literally think they've taken, like whoever came up with the concept is brilliant. Mm-hmm. They're just brilliant. They've taken the concept of cruising and elevated it beyond what I thought it could be.
Yeah.
They've taken into account everything that
check out our Meraviglia series.
Yeah, exactly.
To experience it because
they've thought of everything and how they can elevate everything.
Okay, yeah.
And Princess is very, very nice. I enjoy Princess a lot. Comparing Princess to Yacht Club,
I don't think you can.
is very unfair, I think.
But there's another step though. I mean, I totally agree you can't. But the one thing that I think MSC does good, and I don't know if everyone understands it, which means we're going to do another podcast about that, is I have different levels you can book, right? So you can book Bella, which is a very basic, and that's
But
the
not for
very
Yacht Club.
cheapest. No. So they have like 4 levels. So you can
Right.
book Bella, which is the cheapest. Then you put Fantastica, which gives you like some free breakfast in the room, delivery, you know, free changes. And you have the Oria experience, which gives you a little bit extra. And then you have like the Yacht Club, which is like completely different. So they have different levels of experiences that you can book from very cheap to very expensive. And I think that's a little bit different than what maybe sometimes Princess or Holland America, which are kind of a little bit nicer lines. They don't do necessarily that.
Right. You can get packages, different packages
Yep.
on Princess. But that's not like, it's not to the level of like
Maybe like Oria experience, which you get like access to like a private like little deck area, and you get some other amenities. Might be something similar to like the Princess Plus.
right.
They're never going to equal, but
No.
I mean, I'm never going to say that Princess is not a good cruise line. We love
Not
Princess.
at all. We love Princess.
And their medallion, the way they do all of that is really cool. We would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, the first time we experienced that, like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, even the second time we experienced it, like, wow, this is great technology. I wish other cruise lines would do it. So, yeah, they do some things tremendously well.
But I think that like the Princess is going to be like a step up, right? From like maybe Carnival and Royal and NCL, something like that. But I think these days they're all getting to the point where they all have nice amenities.
Exactly.
My brain is really losing it today. So,
Yeah,
sorry,
I
not
think
really
you're right.
thinking.
I don't think there's a giant difference between like Royal Caribbean and Princess.
Not
Princess
anymore.
feels a little bit more upscale.
Right.
You feel a little bit like, oh yeah, this is why I paid an extra $200
Yeah.
because it feels just a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
Like everything doesn't feel like there's no Johnny Rockets.
That's true.
Not that I'm dissing Johnny Rockets.
Right.
I ain't dissing Johnny Rockets because
No.
I enjoy Johnny
Yeah.
Rockets, but you know how it's just like
It just feels a little bit more.
yeah, it feels like you like the food court at the
Yeah.
at the mall. There's no place on Princess like that.
Yeah.
They kind of just stay away from that feel. So Princess is very nice, but to answer that question, they do not compare. If you are expecting, which I didn't say that, but
Yeah.
if you're expecting a Yacht Club similar experience on Princess, you won't find it.
No.
You just won't find it. I don't know. I haven't experienced.
Now, we haven't done the NCL Haven.
Haven't done that. We haven't done some of the exclusive
so
cruise lines,
Expensive.
Seven Seas or Oceania or
No.
even Virgin, which I'm guessing is a little feels, even though it's kind of, it's like the alternate version
Yeah. Yeah.
of luxury, but it's still kind of a luxurious line, even though it's
Kind of like anti-luxury, kind of
Yeah.
anti,
it's
but
Kardashian luxury.
Jeez, I don't know about that.
Sorry, were you going to say something?
No, sorry. I was just saying that I don't think that any cruise line kind of has what MSC has as far as the different levels. Like you can go Bella, you can go really darn cheap, so, and then you can kind of you're on the same ship, but everyone is experiencing a little bit different depending on what they booked.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, we'll go into more details about that, but
Yeah, we'll cover that in.
I really don't think that any of the
Depth.
major cruise lines compare to the Yacht Club unless you are at like I don't know, we haven't done Seabourn, but like, one of those
Right.
a little bit nicer ship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I just was checking the time. We're at about 30 minutes. I'm gonna fit one more in here.
Okay.
One more. This is from Burrs01.
Okay.
I've never been on a cruise in my lifetime, but I was recommended the podcast and love it. Thank you to whoever recommended it. Any chance you guys could talk about the best experience you've had on cruises, whether MSC or other lines? I wrote down notes for that. Where is it?
Boy, that's a hard one.
All right, so.
Do you have one already?
Yes.
Okay.
My fondest, this is the MSC. Okay. I'm going to start with MSC because I do have some other ones that are another one that's not MSC, but I'm going to start with MSC. I've got a couple, and I'll do the first one. Maybe this will spur you into it. My fondest experience on MSC. It's the goofiest, fondest experience.
Okay.
Our very first show on MSC was Mystic Forest.
That would have been on the seashore, right?
On the seashore.
Yeah. I think everybody knows how much you love that.
Talk about having my pants blown off.
Okay.
I don't know. Were we talking about having my pants blown off? I don't think we were.
We weren't.
But let's talk about my pants being blown off.
Okay.
That was something else. I've never seen anything like that on another ship. I remember that show vividly.
So do I.
Vividly. It was such a fun show, such a wild show, such an outlandish show, such a weird show that it literally is my fondest memory of MSC.
You know what's kind of funny, and the reason that we love having the channel is because we record a lot of those really cool moments. And I remember recording after, and you were just like, "Oh my god!" You remember, like when we had just gotten out of that, and you were just like, "Oh," I remember that. Yeah,
that is. I just had such a good time, and burned into my memory the best experience on MSC. I mean, obviously, like the yacht club is a great experience and stuff, but my fondest, like when I look back, like with fond memories, I'm like, that was awesome. That was so much fun just to experience that.
We're still looking for hashtag where's Steampunk Humpty Dumpty? Bring back Steampunk Humpty. Did we see him on the Magnifica?
I don't know. Did he make a return?
I don't know, but I agree.
Okay, what's that? Do you have any, or do you want me to go to my next one?
No, go to the next one.
All right, my next one was sailing out of New York City. Because that's always been a bucket list port for me. I love sailing out of metropolitan areas. It's so neat to be on the ship and just see big buildings and hustle and bustle and harbor boats and ferries and traffic on the ocean, and the river there. It's just, that was great. And plus we were in yacht club.
Yeah, that made it better.
So we were like in this awesome room and sitting on the balcony and looking out at New York City and then going under the Narrows Bridge. That's just an awesome port for me and awesome memory.
I agree.
You want me to continue?
Go to your next one.
All right, your brain isn't working today. All right, my last one.
Yeah.
Then. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, my last one is not MSC.
Okay.
And this goes all the way back.
Okay.
To our very first cruise together.
Okay.
And I believe that was on the Zaandam, was it? I can't remember what ship it was. It's Holland America.
It could have been. It was right after we were married.
Yeah, I think it was the Zaandam. And I just have such good memory. I'm afraid to go on a Holland America ship again. You know that? Because we have such good memories of that.
Whichever ship it was the ship that had it was a flowers. Flowers were like the main theme of the ship. So it was like in the artwork and everything. I remember.
Yeah, I just can't remember what ship it was.
It was a pretty amazing
But I'm afraid
trip.
they won't live up to it again. Yeah. Like I built that cruise up.
We haven't been on Holland America since then.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm afraid to. I'm afraid that I'll get on it and be like, this sucked compared to the first one, because that's when we fell in love with cruising together as a couple.
We saw whales. We were sitting out there
We-
watching the
exactly.
ocean. We saw whales.
We were like bonding with
Yeah.
all the older couples because it was definitely us
We were-
and older couple because we were cruising in I was in my late 20s and you were in your
I was
early
in my
20s.
early 20s.
So we were by far
the youngest on the cruise.
on that cruise.
But I was a travel agent at that time, and so we got a good deal on it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we just had such a good time on
Yeah.
that cruise. That's my favorite non-MSC or my fondest
Right.
non-MSC.
I don't have, it's hard to come up with, because I think I remember like that. I think, when I think of cruising, as far as instead of, doing a land vacation, I think the thing that comes to my mind is just the instant gratification that you get when you're cruising. I love when you're on a cruise and you're like, what do you want to do? Do you want to go gamble? Do you want to eat? Do you want to swim? Do you want to sit in the sun? Do you want to go take a nap? You can do anything you want. And so
What's my response every time you ask me?
he wants to go look at the ocean.
Yep.
And what is mine?
Where can I sleep?
Where do I take a nap? Cruise naps are the best. But that's why I love I love going on cruises, because that's the only place that you can ever have that. So I don't know if I have I can't think right offhand of my favorite moment, other than the fact that I love cruising, because
It is very nice.
whatever you want to do at that moment, you can do.
I love when we go up, it's usually by the buffet because the buffet usually has an open area next to it somewhere.
Yeah.
We go up there, we
Yep.
get some coffee,
Yep.
maybe a little
Maybe a
snack.
pizza.
We break out games
We
and
play some
start playing some games, and
games.
people watch and look at the ocean.
Yep.
My favorite
People
thing in the
watching
world.
by the buffet is the funnest thing.
My
Yeah.
favorite thing in the whole world. I
Or
can
by the
see the
pool.
people
Yep.
walking by. I can see the ocean on
Yep.
the other side. We're playing a game. I got a nice cup of coffee. Life doesn't get much better.
And let me just say, on the Magnifica, they have probably the best chairs in the buffet
Yeah,
that
they are
we've
very
ever had on
nice.
any
Yes.
cruise. And it was the perfect height of the table, and the tables are so easy for the cards to be on. And we spend so much time. So I love that. I love being able to just be and just separated. What the hell? I don't even know. Oops. Can't say that.
Great, you just moved us to PG-13.
I don't know what I'm saying. I love that you're completely isolated when you're on the cruise.
Yes.
And so that's how we love it. I don't know. Probably not the best day for me to answer that question, but if I come up with one, I'll let you know.
We'll forgive you
Okay.
since you're not feeling that good after the cruise.
Okay.
You were feeling pretty good on the cruise, though. So
Yeah, we
that was
had
important.
Did we have a good time? You'll have to see.
I have to say. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up. I see that we are
So
now
what is the
getting
secret?
long here.
What is the secret?
Secret
Wrap
is
it up for everybody.
is speak up, do your thing. Do your thing, whatever it is. Just do it.
Yep.
You don't have to be rude about it doing it. Just do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
There it is.
Speak. Don't be afraid to speak up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any more questions, well, you're going to have more questions. But if you want them specifically answered, go ahead and send it to us. You can send it on Facebook, obviously on the comments on YouTube, anywhere. Instagram comments, we'll read those. Well, Beth will read those.
Yeah.
So Reddit, stick it on Reddit. I'll read it.
So what we're going to do, what we kind of want to do with some of these is kind of answer some of your questions, some things that come through, some future ones we have that someone recommended is really kind of talking about the food on MSC. Status match.
Yes.
That I'm going to have to do some research on because
That is very intricate. We even asked.
I asked, and we got 3 different answers from people on the cruise about status matching.
So that's a very detailed, intricate subject.
Exactly.
So.
And we also want to go into the packages of the Bella Fantastica and Aurea.
Yep.
Even on, and then obviously Yacht Club is separate. But because when you book, you can book either of these packages and it will kind of define what you can do or what you get on the ships.
Yep.
So you can have completely different experiences if you book the different ones. So we want to kind of go into some information on that. But so we're going to kind of mix those up with some questions and answers from you guys.
Yes. All right. That's it. Let's wrap this up.
All right.
Say thank you
Thank
to
you.
everybody for listening, for watching if you're watching. And we will see you on the next cruise cast, right?
Next episode. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.